Yo, what is going on, guys? With the latest update, letting the open world scale to level 60 has been great. Obviously, with us being able to go out into the open world, complete activities, get new gear, new mods at that level 60 without having to constantly do heroic assault has been a great addition and a great update. But there's also another piece of this update that you might not have been aware of. Now, this other part of the update in which they didn't list on the patch notes does significantly impact us and our farming and our gear and everything like that. So I just want to urge everybody, after you find this information out that we're going to talk about today, be careful when it comes to farming. Now, before we get into the actual what I think is going to be an issue, let me show you a neat little trick in which I never realized until today. Let's say we're in the open world, we're playing as Red Hood, and we don't want to play as Red Hood anymore. Well, before we would have to go into the Belfry in order to switch characters, in which we would lose the entire night, you know, and if we didn't have enough of clues or anything on the clue meter or whatever, we'd reset the entire night at the Belfry. But there's a little trick. So if we're out in the world, we just launch Heroic Assault, right? We go into Heroic Assault, then we go into, let's say we want to switch as Batgirl. I'm going to play as Batgirl. And then after I go into Heroic Assault, I am going to then leave Heroic Assault after I made that switch as Batgirl. And then I'm going to come out in the open world as none other in the same exact spot as, well, you guessed it, Batgirl. Now, I'm sure a lot of people knew that already. I guess personally didn't realize it. And there might be some people out there who also have not realized it. And so I thought that was kind of cool that you could now, you know, in a roundabout way, go about your night, get all 12 of your clues and not be stuck to one single character and be able to switch them and still gather the 12 clues without resetting it. So now let's get into the actual issue of this past update, what they didn't tell you. Now, when Heroic Assault came out, Showdown came out with it, and a lot of people, including myself, did the Talia al Ghul Showdown first, which gave you level 60 gear, which is the best gear in the game. And at that time, when Heroic Assault came out, there was no other way to get level 60 gear besides for Heroic Assault. And we figured out that if you go into Heroic Assault, it would then delete all of your lower level gear. So if you had level 60 gear from Talia and you went into Showdown, it would automatically delete what they called obsolete blueprints every single time you entered Showdown. Now, for a lot of people, you know, that wasn't necessarily an issue because they didn't have any issues with, you know, losing all of the lower level gear. They wanted the higher gear anyway. And so that was okay. But for some people, they wanted to keep a lot of the blueprints that they haven't yet crafted yet, and they didn't want to be stuck with the same level 60 gear throughout the entire Heroic Assault, through the entire Showdown, without being able to get level 60 gear. Well, that has changed. They actually made, with this past update, they made it to where none of the blueprints actually delete anymore. So when I go into crafting, as y'all see that I still have my level 60 Predator set. I still have all of the blueprints in which I had previously, and I still have, you know, 116, 110, 95 blueprints for all of my gear, level 40. Okay, so you're thinking, well, what does that matter? I mean, who cares? Well, here's the problem. Here's what's going to happen. There were many people, including myself, with two particular characters, with Red Hood and a Batgirl. I never went into Heroic Assault, so my blueprints never deleted. I didn't want them to delete on those two characters. So now I have Batgirl with 116 blueprints, and there's a lot of people out there that never played Heroic Assault because they didn't want their blueprints to be deleted. So now I have 115 level 40 blueprints. And now when I go out into the real world with Batgirl, every single thing that I do, all my activities and everything, I am now going to get level 60 gear. That's great and that's fantastic. But what happens to my level 40 blueprints? So as it turns out from this past update, since Heroic Assault doesn't delete blueprints, they obviously took off just toggled the do not delete any blueprints ever function in the game, which means every single blueprint that you pick up, regardless of level, you are keeping it. You are keeping it. Every single one. I'm doing the Heroic Assault again with Nightwing. You start at level 25 blueprints, right? And you go up from there. And so as I'm going through Heroic Assault, I am now keeping every single blueprint that I ever got. All the rares, all the uncommons, all the commons, regardless of level, even regardless if they are the same suit, just a different level. So I've been doing Heroic Assault with Nightwing and Red Hood, picking up gears throughout each of the floors because I'm making, a guide for everybody, which should come out tomorrow, by the way. But anyways, on Red Hood, I got a level 43 stealth suit, epic. I got a level 42 stealth suit, epic. Now, the lower level one does not delete for the higher level one. It does not. Nothing deletes anywhere. Modular bioelectric suit at level 45. I just picked that up on my last one or whatever. And then I already had modular bioelectric suit at level 40. At this point in the video, you're probably asking, well, what's the issue here? Well, the issue is that there's a cap on how many blueprints that you can hold. And as far as we know, I believe the cap is 300. And so take, for example, all the people that just start the game. They're starting at level 1. Imagine going through the entire game at level 1, keeping every single blueprint, every rarity, every duplicate, just on different levels for the entire first 40 levels of the game. And then you go through Heroic Assault and then get from 40 to 60, every single blueprint, never deleting itself, never deleting lower level ones, even of the same suit. By the time you get to level 60, you're going to have hundreds and hundreds of blueprints. So how much room are you going to have for level 60 gear? And for those people who haven't done Heroic Assault yet, like me, that on Batgirl and Red Hood that just didn't want their blueprints to be deleted. Now we have over 100 in level 40 that we're going to have to keep all, even though we're farming all level 60 stuff. The level 40 is going to stay there. If you jump into Heroic Assault and do it with Batgirl, then you're going to have, level 25, level 26, level 27, level 35, level 45. And it's going to fill up your inventory really quick. I have been doing Nightwing and Red Hood just exclusively on Heroic Assault. And Nightwing has already picked up like 70 pieces of gear the first 15 levels of Heroic Assault. It's crazy. And it's all, in my inventory. And there's no way to delete it. So I think now more than ever, we need a delete button on blueprints so bad. I honestly like the fact that they took away the obsolete thing and made it to where, they didn't automatically delete themselves. I actually kind of agree with that, and I'm glad they did that. I also wish that, going on the same, thing, I wish that duplicates wouldn't delete themselves either. So you can see that you got something in your inventory, even if it was a duplicate, at least it would pop in there. And then just give us the delete button. Just let us have a delete button so we can delete whatever blueprints that we don't want. Like how seriously hard is that? It just blows my mind that the problems that Heroic Assault started by deleting everything below 60, and then they just toggled that switch off. So now nothing deletes at all. Anything in the game deletes. And so it's going to cause a problem, I think, with stacking up so much inventory really quick to 300 max, and then you won't be able to get any level 60 gear. You won't be able to get any of the new level 60 blueprints because you're already maxed out on all your gear. So point being, guys, be careful. Be careful. Don't farm with one single character. Even if it's your favorite character, I would honestly pick a different character if you're trying to grind through Heroic Assault, just so you don't stack up ridiculously lower amount of blueprints. I would honestly do Heroic Assault with your least played character, just so they can have all of the blueprint inventory space that's wasted, and you can focus on getting the blueprints you really want with your favorite characters. Because I'm telling you, these blueprints, what I'm doing, Nightwing and Red Hood, they are filling up really quick. And for those people that haven't done Heroic Assault yet, or sitting there farming Heroic Assault for, let's say, you know, lower level mods or something like that, your inventory is going to fill up pretty fast. But either way, though, guys, hopefully we get a delete button. I mean, it would all be solved if we had a delete button. I don't know why we don't have it. I think it's crazy. Just let us get every single blueprint, which is cool. I like that. And I wish we got the duplicate ones instead of it auto-salvaging us, you know, auto-salvaging it. Just let us have a delete button. And then the whole thing would be solved. We can just delete whatever we want to, and we can move on and all of that stuff. But either way, guys, be careful. I'll see y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.